I'd like to discuss my views on publicly worshiping demons. Now, I feel publicly worshiping demons is wrong. The private worship of demons is all good in your own household, not out in the view of our children and pastors and people like that. Can you imagine what would it be like to walk down the street and visibly see demon worship? It'd be quite a frightening process. Should actually be banned in Congress. I mean, if you went out into a field and set up a cross and burned someone, well, okay, great. But I mean, in the view of everyone's eyes, that's a horrible thing to deal with. I mean, I can see myself going home and worshiping my demons and, you know, sacrificing my virgins and goats and whatnot. But I mean, doing it out in the middle of, say, Westheim would be a horrible thing. Worse than these cigarettes, unfiltered. But I mean, that's just one thing. I mean, then you have the virgin sacrifices from the roofs of downtown buildings. What's this world coming to? I mean, why is it that we have to go downtown and have virgins falling on us? I mean, it's such a horrible thing to have blood and whatever else gets on you. I mean, I've had that happen a couple of times, and it's a damn trip to the dry cleaner each time. I want virgin blood all over my washer at home. That would fuck with the karma of things. I don't know, then you have that whole school sniper stuff. I mean, they really do need to get better at that, because how can you get so few kills? I mean, they must be really bad at Quake or something. Because my God, I could at least get 3, 4, a whole clip load. I mean, they're sitting targets. It's not like they're running around shooting back at you. So, now that I've really worn out the subject on public demon worship, and I was just discussing school snipers. In fact, I'm really not sure why they choose this school when there's so many other places that you could perhaps get better kills and have a better viewpoint. Say, the park. See the little trains that go by? I like to see a contest to see how many people you can hit on one of those little Herman Park trains that go down the street, or the tracks. I mean, if you move it at a decent speed, hide in the woods, start tapping off rounds. The train goes by, score points. It would be a better point scoring system, and I mean, you wouldn't have to deal with the whole school campus thing, and then you wouldn't be stereotypical. Then you could be the train sniper. Or Dietrich's, in fact. Nice viewpoint on the little roof up there. We've got a good number of people. We've got one main entrance back into the building, which is covered in glass. You could get 10, 15 people. That is with that range. I mean, and then you have people that sit on the stairs and laugh constantly. I see no point in being that happy. I'd rather sit around in front of Dietrich's with a camcorder on me and talk about shooting people at Dietrich's. It's much more entertaining that way. And I sit here and watch a cup of coffee flounder because they have these cheap-ass tables that do that. I mean, it'd be funny just to walk by someone who had a cup of coffee sitting on the table and just go, boom, and just fucking coffee all over them. Those fuckers are good. So, to ramble on. No, public demon worship is such a good topic. There's so much to say about it. Good distance. Okay, now you interview me. Just asking really random shit. That is the funniest movie in the world. Next generation's drug problem. This generation's drug problem. Unfortunately, I'm very involved in seeing that rave culture that seems to have a mass of drug problems. It's really hard to explain because maybe the answer is education for the youth. Maybe it's not because you have, your education programs on drugs. Or maybe it's closed in view. If you tell someone you're not to do something, it's just like, it's hard to explain, but if I say for the rest of you in this video, I want you not to think of a white panda. A completely white panda with red eyes climbing a tree. Now, in your entire life, you've probably never thought of that, but for the next 5 minutes, you're going to sit there, and without thinking about it, you're going to think of a white fucking panda. And you try not to think about it, but that doesn't count, because you've already thought about it. Thus, you're trying not to think about it. I mean, look at Amsterdam and places like that. If you can consider marijuana a drug, and look at the legalization impacts in Amsterdam. The crime rate's much lower, especially when, it's drug involved. And that's primarily a drug, that seems to be, a big problem. Supposedly it's a big problem. When you think about it, how many people do you know that got busted for coke? Heroin. Maybe some people bust for ecstasy, but when you think about it, I mean, why should we be paranoid about sitting here in a public place and not lining up a fatty? I see nothing wrong with it, but maybe that's because my generation has a drug problem. Or maybe that's just because I was raised a lot differently. There's so much to say about it. I mean, there is no answer to it. It's always going to be a problem. Maybe they should look somewhere else in a solution because everywhere else they have, obviously we still have a problem. So maybe they need to change their approach in some way. I mean, I don't agree with the usage of such drugs. I mean, you can use everything in moderation. Some people have that problem. I mean, why are fucking cigarettes legal? Because so many fucking politicians smoke them. I mean, look at fucking prohibition. That didn't turn out too good, did it? Granted, alcohol is probably a lot more evil than most drugs out there. How many evil stoners do you really know? Ask yourself that. When I'm stoned, I just sit at home and eat food. Shit, the diet industry would do great. Next question. I'm being